My name's Lawrence Bill.
Pleased to meet you, Lawrence. My name's Bill Borthwick.
From which mine were you from?
Broadsworth.
Broadsworth. Then you were from Edinburgh originally, Glasgow.
Glasgow.
Rough area.
Rough area.
And then
moved to Edinburgh. Come back to Glasgow for a little while. Worked with my dad in an asbestos factory.
an asbestos factory, right.
And decided to go back to Edinburgh, and that's where my wife. And I got married in 1969, 16th of August. I'll be 50 years married this year.
Good Lord. So your wife didn't want to come with you today?
She was downstairs.
Oh, really?
But she'd rather go. But
so then you were looking for work.
yeah, I was 4 weeks out of job.
Was that working with your dad?
That was, I went to Conisbrough to my uncle's. I've got an uncle who lives in Conisbrough. Been here since 1958, he's probably know his name. And he worked in GEC Electrics, but they were making people redundant at that particular time. And he were a gaffer. For so many men, a gaffer had to go. So he was last in, first out.
Oh.
So he said, don't come here. He says, you'll need to get another job somewhere. So had a drink in a local pub, met a bloke. 4 weeks later, started at Broadsworth Colliery.
Really? And how long did you work in Broadsworth? Or in mining?
21 years, less the 12-month strike that we had. We had a year's strike, 84, 85. So 20 years.
But that would mean that you were working there, weren't you, really? You were really working there then, but it was just
Yeah.
a difficult time.
Difficult time, very difficult.
Yeah. So where were you living?
In Highfields. Been in that house 49 years this year.
Crikey. Right. Is that a mining house?
It was. They were pit houses, yes. I got that house in May. I started working in April. At the end of May, I got the house, got the keys of the house. Didn't have anything. Had no money, nothing.
Right.
Neighbours helped us.
Really?
Yeah. The only thing we never had was a bed. Yeah, no furniture. People gave us curtains,
God, sounds like a
bits and bobs, you know.
great community.
It was brilliant.
Yeah.
They're absolutely fabulous people. I never had a problem with anybody there.
No.
Never. Never.
So what did you do down the mine?
I was diesel driving for 18 months. To get on the coal face, you had to wait 2 years.
Right.
So I did 6 months in the pit bottom, 18 months diesel driving, then I went on the coal face in 1972.
So what's diesel driving? What you mean diesel driving?
It's like a train. It takes the tubs of coal from the loader off the coal face to the pit bottom to go up the pit. You know, so it's just a diesel train, you know, an engine.
So it's like a paddy road?
Yeah,
paddy
it's
wagon
it's a paddy wagon as well, yeah.
Yeah. I'm getting a little bit of the lingo after 30 heads nearly.
Paddy.
Yeah.
There's some pits had proper paddy wagons, but we never. We just sat in the coal tubs, just put wooden seats in.
Oh, really?
And throw them out when you're finished, then fill it with coal.
And you were always in Broadsworth?
Always at Broadsworth, yeah. Yeah.
And was that how was it a high-performing pit?
There were over 4,000 men when I went there in 1970.
Good
Over 4,000 people. That's your surface as well.
Wow.
You know, your office staff. That's everybody that worked at Broadsworth was on a board. You seen the board on a Monday, how many people worked at the pit, how many people were absent, things like that. Yeah. Yeah.
And so there eventually turned out to be on the face?
I was on the coal face, yeah. I was on 3 different units. They call them units because when they're exhausted, you move along. You go somewhere else. You go on, it's what they call a market man. Yeah. It's like a spare man for a while until they set up a new coal face. Right. Then you move on to that one. I was on 3.
How long does it take to set up a coal face?
2, 3 years, maybe more.
Really, 2 or 3 years?
Yeah.
That's digging tunnels down to it?
Well, Some they do the roadways. They do the main roadway first, cut along and do the coal face, and come on the return. Then when you start that, it just moves forward with you.
Yeah.
And you leave 2 roadways, you know.
So the first thing really is to dig down to 2 tunnels,
Mm-hmm.
and then you've got to start your roadways.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I mean, I suppose
yeah.
really the roadway starts at the bottom of the tunnel.
It
Doesn't it?
used to take us 3/4 of an hour to an hour to get to the coal face walking.
God.
That's before you even done anything.
God.
You had to walk, because not every place you could get transport.
Yeah.
You had to walk. And then when the weight comes on, you couldn't get any transport in. Conveyor belts come in then.
Wow.
Yeah. I lost a mate in 1981, got killed down at Brodsworth.
Really?
Yeah.
What, at the coalface or?
Well, it's called salvaging. When a coal face is finished, it's got to be stripped off of the machinery. Take it all off. They took us off of there and sent us down to an area that we'd never been before. So what you do when you've never been, you've got to check that safety things working. They're called lockouts. You know, if you're using a machinery, there's always a lockout for emergencies, like an emergency stop.
Yeah.
For the want of a better word, emergency stop. So you look at the area you're in, where the tannoy system is, that's to talk to the surface, to talk to your mates about 1,000 metres away or something like that. He might be up we used to call them gates in roadways, gates. He might be further up doing something. He might shout, "Have you got a spanner?" On the tannoy system.
Yeah.
You go take your spanner to him or a hammer, whatever.
Yeah.
But you always check all that first. So they took this flat bottom, stuff in, on its own, empty. What is, you get 2 arms like that comes up and they lock. That's to stop anything falling off.
Yeah.
So we picked this, I can't remember exactly what we picked up, but we loaded it up and we were going out to the pit bottom. You come to these air doors, there's always 3 sets of air doors. You open one, then you go forward, behind you the guy shuts that door, and then you open the second one. Just the same, you get to the third one.
Like locks in the
Yeah,
canal.
you just got to open that, 2 sets of doors to take the train through, right?
Gotcha, yeah.
And when my mate, he used to work in South Africa, in the mines in South Africa, and he was very safety conscious. At each door, you had a manhole. You stood in that, so when the train goes by, take the chain off and close the door.
Yeah.
Well, John, he was very safety conscious. If we tried to walk up a moving transport, he'd shout at you.
Yeah.
But he walked up and his arm caught the door like that. There were a bend on it. He caught the door and the chain that was on the door held it, and it jackknifed, fastened them into the side. Don't forget that you're talking about quite a lot of hundredweight.
Of what was it that jackknifed him?
The tram.
The tram accident.
It's hard to explain to you. It's just a flat tram with a bit of machinery on it, with arms to stop anything falling off. But this was bent. We didn't know it was bent, and it caught the door. The jackknife got him in, pinned him into the side, and I cut his belt off. You know, he's got his lamp, his self-rescue. He's got his safety lamp as well. His spanners. So they were cutting into him.
Christ.
So I got the Stanley knife, cut it off, and all his back fell out. All his back fell out, yeah. I meant to bring the bit that I went to the coroner's court for it, you know, as a witness. There was 75% Coalboard's fault, and 25% was his fault for walking up a moving area where the vehicle was going. He should never have done that. So he lived about 8 days, 9 days, something like that.
Christ, man.
Wow.
Jesus.
Mm.
That had a big effect.
We saw his wife at the inquest, coroner's inquest. I think he'd a son and a daughter, I can't remember exactly. son and a daughter. They were too young to go to coroner's court.
Right.
Never seen his wife after that.
Really?
Never seen him. The court case went through, and it was the NUM, the National Union of Mine Workers. They've got representatives in there. It was them that told us the result of it. About a year after, when we got to know what the final result was. So,
Christ.
to see that bend on that arm, you could never see it. In the naked eye, you couldn't see it. Even if you're in the dark, don't forget.
Yeah, God.
And all you've got is your cap lamp on. And it just caught this door, but the wooden door held its ground. And it jackknifed it and got him in. Oh. Gangrene set in.
Really?
Yeah. Believe it or not, within a week, gangrene was in. So he's down that big dusty area.
I suppose it's all infection from that.
Yeah, all the infection, yeah. I mean, even if you cut yourself, I mean, we used to get blue bits on my knees, look. Them.
Yeah. Blue bruises.
Blue, yeah. Turn blue.
Yeah.
They're red when it happens because you see the blood coming out. After a certain time, they turn blue. But it's coal dust.
Yeah. God.
But, it was a tragic case, but I can assure you the safety performances after that just rose. Very safety conscious after that. Everybody was.
Because he was a safe guy anyway.
We just can't, to this day, we can't answer that question, why he walked up there. Because if I'd have walked up there, they'd have shouted at me. They'd have shouted at me. And we'll never ever know why he walked up there. Never know. But they're dug in to the side. You just stand in. So when you stood in like that, you just let the train go by, take the chain off, close the door. That was the idea. It's called a manhole. You can stand in. But he was walking toward that. Got at the end of the door, and just poof. It happened so fast, believe it or not. It happened so fast.
God.
And everybody's dying out. See, these lockout systems, it's a wire. Right? There's a main box between that one, we'll say that socket there, and that socket there, there's a green wire.
Yeah.
Right? And you just pull that,
Yeah.
and it stops it. It tells whoever's driving the engine to stop.
Right.
Because that guy could be 1,000 metres away.
Yeah.
He don't see nothing. He only listens to your signals. You know.
Jesus.
Oh.
And was that, I mean, that's an unusual event down the pit?
It was, yeah. Lots of mines is. I mean, there's Bentley Colliery, for example. There's still men and ponies still buried in there.
Really?
Yeah. That happened wartime in the 40s. Old hundreds, that was a unit, old hundreds it was. When you do some training, sometimes they send you to another pit to do your training. Just underground training, just to get used to it. And the old hundreds is the famous one that they take everybody to it.
Right.
You know, it was an explosion.
Okay. So you go to the site of the explosion
Yeah,
in Bentley?
yeah.
So part of the training?
It's all blocked off, it's all sealed off. It's all sealed off. They show you it. They deliberately show you it, just to get you safety conscious regarding your... not to take matches down the pit, for example.
Yeah.
Just get safety conscious, you know.
Yeah.
Sad. It was a sad occasion with my mate, John.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. How old was he?
John would be older than me now. Be in his 40s, yeah. He'd be in his 40s.
Did his wife stay around, or do you think she just left?
I think they were actually Geordies. They're actually Geordies. And I think she went back to Geordieland because she used to live in Bentley. He used to travel to Broadsworth Colliery. And we never seen her after that.
No.
After that day in court, we never seen her after that. You know, they may assume they went back to Geordieland. Sad.
Doesn't leave you either, does it?
I mean, if it was a cave-in, you can understand it.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you don't get a second chance with a cave-in. And that's another thing. When you're drilling into a strata like that, you're drilling into strata, you're on a platform, scaffold as we call this, a platform, you're drilling. And they ask you to wear these earmuffs, and you can't do it. You can't hear your mate shout if the roof's coming in, because you're drilling. The side come in, you can't see it. So what you do is you hit them on the shoulder, and everybody jumps clear, and you're way up this height. You know. So we never ever wore these earmuffs, because you couldn't hear your mate shout.
Hasn't affected your hearing, has it?
It did, yeah. It did, yeah.
But it's recovered, is it?
Mine's has recovered a bit, yeah. Because I'm getting older, it's getting worse.
God.
But you can ask any miner, if you had my uncle here, would he go back to the pit? He would say no, but I would. I would go back if I could work with the same guys I used to work with, because they're the people that made the job.
Yeah.
It was fun, especially on a Monday morning. It was great on a Monday morning, good laugh on a Monday morning.
Why Monday morning after all the weekend's antics?
Yeah.
Drinking.
Everybody backfiring, stump rotten.
Did you socialise with them above ground?
Oh yeah. Well, Ifields is a mining village. You did 3 shifts at Broadsworth, days, nights and afters. So you got to more or less got to know the people in the village through the mines.
Right.
Then the council bought the houses.
Yeah.
I mean, like I say, I'm for 49 years in that house now this year. 49 years. And I still pay rent. I don't want to buy it. Still pay my rent.
Because? Why don't you buy it?
I just never wanted to buy my house. Never. Doesn't matter where it was, whether it was Doncaster, Glasgow, Edinburgh, no. My rent in 1970 was £1.29, right? You get a ton of coal every 6 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Delivered outside, dumped in the street, and you had to take it off the street into your coal house, right? That cost me £1.3 bob. That was dearer than my rent.
Wow.
For a 3-bedroom house and a kitchen, outside toilet. It was an outside toilet until the council took over.
And then they gave you a toilet.
They gave us an inside toilet.
And put the rent up.
Put the rent up. My rent now is £69.43 or 34, something like that, a month.
A month?
A week. Nobody believes the rent's 1970.
Yeah.
£1.29.
That's incredible, isn't it?
I mean, I'll pay my rent, don't bother me.
Yeah.
My pension pays for that.
Yeah.
I've got a pit pension.
Have you?
Yeah, I've got a pit pension.
Because there's a big fight going on about pensions at the moment, isn't there?
Well, when they started closing the pits, people kept saying, take your pit pension out and put it in your private pension. And then there was a big kick-up about that. I kept my pension with the NUM. I'm all right. Sometimes it's rough when you've got your bills to pay.
Yeah.
But your gas, your electric, your water rates, your rent, manage.
Yeah.
My wife gets a state pension. I also get state pension.
What did your wife do?
She never worked. She worked about 11 months when we come here. I was a breadwinner.
Right.
I brought the money in.
And you had a family? Or did you have a
I
family?
didn't have any family until 1972 and 76. I have 2 daughters, 47, 43 this year,
Gosh.
and 10 grandkids.
Really?
Sorry, I've answered that one. I've got them a telly now. We can watch telly. Yeah. I don't mind when people talk about what did you do during the miners' strike and all that. Don't bother me now.
Mm.
It used to bother me.
Yeah.
Don't bother me now.
Upset you, I mean. Used to upset you.
It does. Aye. See, lots of people lost their homes. Lost their homes. I know two guys. Lost his wife, lost his home. His wife went with somebody else and took the kids up north somewhere. All because they had no money. They were on strike. Yeah. If they don't lose house because they can't pay their mortgage.
Yeah.
That hurt. That hurt. It was a shame. The NUM helped a few out, but the ones that they helped out went back to work during the strike.
Really?
Nah, oh yeah. Yeah, there were a lot of that.
Really?
Yeah. Helped me out. Next thing they know, they're going back to work.
And were you on the picket lines?
I was in what they call the home coal garage that gave dockets out for the lorries to go down, take the coal to the hospitals, to the pensioners. I used to stamp them. Lorries come from Wales, Scotland. They used to come on a Sunday night. We used to stamp them to give them permission to go through the picket lines.
Okay.
Yeah. My signatures have been all over the place.
So there's special dispensation for certain...
Only for concessionary,
Yeah.
for concessionary fuel for pensioners,
Yeah.
hospitals.
Was that coming out of stock or did someone have to mine it?
It's already been mined.
Mined, yes.
It's already been mined. It's lying on the surface.
Yeah.
You know, so they had to go from the surface to these people. So they had to go through picket lines at the power stations and at the pits.
Yeah.
So that special dispensation was, as you
So-
showed the pickets, let them through.
So did you fuel the power stations as well then?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So to all intents and purposes then, the mine was still providing essential material for the fueling of the
Yeah.
population.
Yeah. They had to keep the lights burning.
Yeah.
Had to keep the lights burning.
Gosh.
Keep people, I mean, there were some people, don't forget, that is on dialysis and heart monitor, things like that. So you've got to be careful what you do.
So yeah, interesting. So I mean, would the NUM have decided all that, or was it the mine? I mean, I'm trying to think of the organisational framework.
You had your national, your local NUM,
Yeah.
your area MUM, and your national NUM, like Arthur Scargill and company. They're the ones that made the big decisions.
Yeah.
But every area, during the miners' strike, it was boiled not to each individual pit, it was from area to area.
Just keep it there.
And they decided what they were doing, who went where when they were picketing,
Right.
make sure that the coal went to the right people.
Yeah.
The lights had to keep burning. You had to keep the lights burning.
And did you do that because of social? What's the word?
Public-
Conscience, or because?
It's public opinion was against us anyway.
Yeah.
The thing I can say about the strike was we weren't on strike for more money.
Mm.
We were in strike to fight for jobs.
Yeah.
And it ended up that the NUM, the miners, got a better pension than somebody working in a factory, like a car factory. Places like that. They got good pension, good redundancy payments. I didn't finish through redundancy. I finished rail health.
All right.
I finished rail health.
What did you have wrong with you?
I had all sorts wrong with that. I ended up with a double heart bypass. Not all about 4 years this year.
Really?
Yeah, I had a lot of heart trouble, yeah.
Not from mining.
Well, that's something they can never tell you,
No.
why you got heart trouble. I got blue around my lip here. I was sitting in a club having a pint. What's that? You've been playing snooker? Yeah, I had a game of snooker. Got chalk in your lip. Wouldn't come off. I had no pain, nothing. Went home, my wife says, your lip's blue. What? They were at it at the club. I'm all right. Anyway, my wife phoned the doctor on the Monday morning. Come straight up, looked at me, says, you've got heart trouble. Need to get you an angiogram. Had the angiogram about just over a week later. About 4 weeks after that, I was told that it was just a little nick, showed you on the screen, little nick on around my heart.
Really?
And when I had the operation, it was a double bypass I had. So, but like I say, any medical I went to, when did you have your heart attack? I said, I never had a heart attack. I never had any heart attack. I had no pains or nothing. And the doctor who had done the operation was called Dr. Payne. That's true, that. Dr. Payne, a lady. She was brilliant.
But you get Dr. Death every now and then, don't you? Dr. Diath.
Death.
Yeah.
That's Death, D-E-A-T-H. It's hyphenated and it's Death.
That's it.
I seen one in Hallamshire. I went to Hallamshire. And till it was Northern General. It was Northern General I had to go for the angiogram. And that's where I had that. Dr. Death. D-E hyphenated A-T-H. Mechanical props.
So you were a prop man?
And a prop man, yeah.
Front of the gob?
In front of the gob. That's right. The gob was behind you.
Yeah.
And then when that flushed, it shoved everything forward. Even you went, a whole lot went forward.
So you felt yourself go?
Oh, aye, you had to watch what you're doing or else you get thrown onto the cold face. Yeah.
Onto the wheel?
Yeah, you go. When that flushed, there was no signs of it happening. There's no warning sign. It just drops. It can go for meters. And all of a sudden it just drops and everything goes forward with it. Oh, yeah.
Is that something you dread?
It's something, yeah, you dread it, yeah. You just, when you see it hanging, you see it up there hanging, you know you're going to ready for a drop. You've got to just make sure you're in the right position when it drops.
What do you mean hanging? I mean, how do you know it's, what do you mean, is there a big crack?
Right, you've got all your roof supports. So there's your roof, right? There's your roof.
Yeah.
There's your supports underneath there. So when you're going forward, all that stops up.
Oh, I see. That, the bit without the chocks in it is hanging.
That's right, and it drops. Because there's nothing to keep it up, is there?
When you say you see it hanging, you mean you just see it without the prop?
You see it, you just look behind you. You just look behind you, you see it all hanging. You say, time to hang on. When it drops, oh. I've seen these roof supports go right into the coal face. And I've had to bore and fire to get it back out.
I do what? Fire?
Bore and fire it to get it back out. It's stuck right into the coal face. Oh, yeah. Or a jigger pick, jigger it out for it to take it back. Get a pull lift, pull it back.
What, the wooden props?
No, they're not wooden props.
So you lose a prop inside there, and you were drilling it out to get the prop out?
Yeah, to get it out.
Because the prop is...
stuck in the coal face.
And too important to leave?
You can't leave it. You can't leave it. It's got to come out. It's got to come out. The machine's got to go past there, you know.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you've got all the props in, and you're saying that the roof was falling on top of the prop.
What they are, they're six-legged mechanical props.
Right.
The small props, the individual props, are in the stable hole.
Yeah.
They're all right. It's the big mechanical props, 6 legs on them.
Oh, okay.
You know, and they just, the weight shoves them forward. And occasionally the odd one gets stuck in the coal face. Stops the job. No coal, you can't coal. Job's got to stand until you get that back. You set up pull lifts and pull it back, or drill it, blow it, then pull it back.
Because it's an obstruction.
It's an obstruction, yeah.
It'll foul the wheel.
Well, you've got the top of it, the canopy, in stuck. That machine's got to go under there.
Yeah.
And if it's stuck, it can't go under.
Yeah.
Can't go under. Dusty.
Yeah.
Dusty. You can't hear anybody talk. You talk with your cap lamp.
Really?
Talk with your lamp, yeah.
It's got Morse code.
Morse code, yeah. If you want, if a guy's about 100 metres away and you want him to help you, You just go like that with your lamp, round like that, and the guy will come towards you.
Really?
And if you want him to go away from you, to go to the other end, you just go like that.
Really?
And if you're on a machine, you go like that and it stops. Till the man stops. That tells you there's something wrong. When he's coming along, go face it, sees you going like that, stop. So you talk with your lamp.
Yeah.
Snap time, everybody's lamp goes on. Everybody knows when it's snap time. It's a dusty life, a hazardous life. But if you're safety conscious, look after yourself, look after your mates, the job looks after you.
Yeah.
You get some, I can assure you get some idiots that try to take chances, you know.
And how are they dealt with?
Well, they get a rollicking, and if they're like what we call a market man or a spare man, we don't have them back. That's his last shift. He goes somewhere else. But the other lads know what they're like. They don't have them.
So it doesn't last long?
No. No. I depend on my mates, and my mates depend on me.
Yeah. Hi. And do you still mix with them? Do you still mix with miners? Are you a social?
Yeah. Every weekend, yeah. I'm on a committee up at Woodlands Park Club. I go in the Friday. Lads are up. Quite a few of them are ex-miners, yeah. Saturday, sometimes on a Saturday, Sunday afternoon. Always associate with them.
Now, I must admit, the sense of community is extraordinary. Even now, you feel kind of an incredible loyalty to it.
A lot of them don't like you talking about the pit.
Really?
I could say to them, maybe 3 or 4 of them, say, would you go back to the pit again? No. You get the 1 or 2 would say, if I could get the same mates, work with the same guys, yeah. But then, most of them are dead and gone. There's quite a lot of them in our valley's gone.
Yeah, I mean, it's a rare breed now, isn't it?
It is.
Increasingly.
Yeah.
We had a guy without a finger in this morning. Becoming a rarer thing, isn't it? The miner's finger. Oh my God, you got one. No, you've got. Yeah, hang on a minute. You got 1, 2, 3. Bloody hell, that's a whole half a hand.
I didn't do that at the pit.
All right.
My little lass slammed it.
She what it?
She slammed the door in my hand, broke it there, put a finger bandage under that, strapped it back, and it was like that. Went back to work because we were on holiday. Right, went back to work and we're lifting girders. And I says, well, you don't pick a girder up, put it down, you pick it up and throw it.
Yeah.
You know. So I says to my mate, don't you throw it, put your end down. Puts his end down, I put mine down. 1, 2, whoa, threw it and it ripped it all out.
Ah!
Ripped it all out. He just got carried away with himself. Ripped it all out. He's done a good job.
Clean.
Yeah, clean job.
Oh, for the sake. Oh, God. Jesus. So what sort of nearly was a mining accident?
Nearly. If it was a mining accident, I'd have got a few quid for that.
Oh, you didn't get you could have blagged it.
No, I wouldn't do that. I were off work, I were on holiday anyway. There's no way you can hide that.
No.
Nah.
Jeez. God, bet your daughter. How did your daughter feel about that?
Well, she were 4.
All right.
She were 4. She's 43 now this year.
And you never forgive that.
Never could. Somebody never comes up. If somebody comes to the house and I mentioned it, she'll join in. I did that for my dad. I done that with my but that's it. Nobody bothers. Even the lads at the pub. Nobody bothers.
Was it like getting used to that?
It was terrible. I used to sit like that. I used to feel it twitching, itchy. You're scratching it. Scratch it, you feel it's there, and you go, oh, it's twitching like hell.
Oh, God. Really?
Yeah. Same as somebody who loses a limb. They still feel it's there for years to come, as if that limb's still there.
So how long did that go on for, you feel?
That went on for quite a few years, that.
Really? Just fear.
You sit there, said to you, you're scratching it, like that, and there's nothing there.
You're not scratching anything?
There's nothing there, you're scratching it. Yeah. We had this Polish guy, worked with us when John got killed, or got trapped and died. And he didn't matter what you said or did, he stone-faced all the time. You never got a smile out of him or nothing. He ended up writing a book down the pit. All the years he was down that pit, he wrote a book.
Really?
Yeah. And when he started making redundancies, his money published his book and moved to Canada.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Was it a success, his book?
Don't know. Don't even know what the book was. It wasn't in English.
Oh, right.
It wasn't in English. We used to sit and watch him write in bits of paper.
Really?
Put it in, he snapped in. It was all in Polish.
Really?
No, he wouldn't tell us what it was about.
All about you.
You had to guess.
How incredible.
You used to kid him on and say, "Oh, that's not a dirty book you're writing." You would never get an answer from
Really?
him. No, he wouldn't talk. Unless you were doing a job that needed his concentration, he'd talk then. He wouldn't laugh like us. We were always clowning about, but he wouldn't. I mean, if you can't laugh, there's something wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
Something wrong if you can't laugh.
You never felt like going on stage then? And when I asked you about your hobbies, I was imagining
Tell
you
you
were going
what,
to say...
I'm going to tell you something, talk about that. During the miners' strike, our club, I only live across the road from the club, not the club that I'm associated with now, straight across the road from me. And during the miners' strike, the trustees, the management, anybody sing a song, 2 beer tickets, right? Me and this lad, he's not with us anymore, Jim Harper, we're on this one. You tell a joke, I'll tell a joke, and the place was packed, and we were in an uproar.
So you were on stage as a comedian?
Yeah, the two of them were just having a laugh between us.
Really?
We got 4 beer tickets each.
No.
We were that good.
God.
Yeah. Come on, Borthwick. Another one, and he'd say something, and then I'd make a joke, he'd say something, and you know, it's the way it was, just laugh. We got everybody else laughing, got everybody cheered up. We got 4 beer tickets for it. Everybody else was getting 2 for singing a song.
I quite like that idea of home entertainment. I mean,
Yeah.
you're entertaining yourselves.
Of course, yeah. People that were skint, come in, maybe have a price of Coca-Cola or something, come out, have a bit of fun, have a laugh. For about 6 months into that strike, the entertainment in the club, the professional entertainment in the club, was all right,
You lot.
you know, but the money dried up.
You just face full thing.
The money dried up, so we had to get some entertainment.
And that was you.
Yeah. You say to Jim, out for the laugh, come on, Jim. Come on, get some beer tickets. Come on. Nah, I'm not bothered now. Yeah, you poorest tatty-watter, you know. Come on, get up. And as soon as he went up there, we just laughed all the night. And I'll tell you a cracker, you'll not believe me. You know Lulu the singer?
Yeah.
Lulu? She was in my class at school. Yeah.
She's fared better than you.
Yeah. Marie. Her proper name is Marie McDonald.
Really?
Marie McDonald McLaughlin Laurie.
Really?
That's her proper name. Yeah. Yeah.
Good God.
Yeah.
She did well for herself, didn't she?
Did really well, yeah. Yeah. She used to, when we used to end the school term, she used to go around the classes singing.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, Marie McDonald McLaughlin Laurie.
God, so you heard her sing when she was
We never thought in tour, you know what I mean? Nobody was thinking in anything like that in their days.
That's amazing,
It's
isn't it?
1962 when I left school. I was 15, 1962.
So she was from the rough part of Glasgow then?
Yeah. She used to just live round the corner from the school. Yeah. She had a brother, Billy. He died with alcoholism. And her dad did. Both of them died with alcoholism. Oh, here we go.
You want to put your hat on then?
Oh, do you know how to spell Rangers?
So did you get to see him much?
Huh?
Rangers? Obviously not.
In Glasgow, we used to run the Rangers Supporters Club. Yeah. Many times I've seen Rangers. Not a lot, I'll be truthful with you, not a lot down there.
Could that have a rough old time?
See, when they started getting the ticket job, you couldn't get tickets. Celtic and Rangers tickets, you couldn't buy them for love nor money. Down to supporters clubs. I mean, you couldn't walk in and pay your money at the turnstile.
Yeah. Yeah, to get
So, or ticket job. Season ticket holders were first.
Yeah.
I think I've been 3 times since I come here to see Rangers, and I've been in the new stadium once.
Really? Because they had a really rough time, didn't they? They were put to the bottom of the league, so they just got back up.
Doing all right, doing all right.
Jesus, that must have been a bit of a blow for you guys. What happens when you're supporting them like that?
Well, we took some stick from the Celtic fans, put it that way.
Yeah, God.
Took some stick. But you never hear of anybody going to court over all that job, do you?
No.
No. That's what I keep saying to my brother on the phone. Has anybody been to court for that eyebrows? No. No, got away with it.
Because of massive.
Fiddling.
Yeah.
Fiddling millions.
Yeah.
Wanted to know where they got the money to pay for all these expensive players.
Is it Stephen Gerrard now that's running?
Gerrard, aye. He's never lost a game up
Has
to
he?
now. He's never lost a game up to now.
Really?
Yeah. I think that's 7 or 8 he's done in a trot. I think they were on about it. 7 he's done. It's a start.
Yeah.
Never be like the glory days. Never be like the glory days.
Did you ever get to an Old Firm derby?
Oh, aye. Well, where I lived in Glasgow, Celtic Park was only like from here to the French Gate.
Wow.
And we used to climb over the wall, get in, drop in. Celtic Rangers. Where I stayed, there was a pub in that corner, and on the next corner across, that was the Rangers pub. In that corner next across from it was the Celtic pub. And you see the bottles flying. Oh, yeah. You used to see the bottles flying and smashing bus windows. Oh.
Did you find it exciting or scary?
Scary. Exciting at first, but then you just got scary. I will admit, it got scary. Now they don't wear their Celtic scarves or hats or nothing in the pubs now. Not
No?
allowed, not allowed. It's a good thing.
So you'd be in trouble then.
I went up. I take this up with me, but I always leave it at my brother's or my sister's, whoever I'm stopping with.
Have you had it for years? Or have you got a load of them?
I got that from a Celtic supporter.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. He says somebody left it on the bus and they picked it up. So he gave it to me. That was in Glasgow. We were up. You know, where I come from, the pubs are dangerous to go.
Right.
Where I drink, I go to a Freemasons club. No trouble. Got to sign in.
In Glasgow?
In Glasgow. Where I come from. Right. I went to Freemasons pub. My brother's a big Mason.
All right.
Who signed me in. And this was a guy, he was a Celtic guy. And anybody can sign in. As long as they sign in, got somebody sign them in. Never any trouble. And that's where I go for a drink. I don't go to the local pubs.
That's a shame. I thought you'd fit in the local pubs.
No. Not with idiots like that, no. No. Honestly. Any excuse for trouble. No good.
Makes for an exciting town.
I mean, when they stopped them wearing knees and scarves and training, jockey suits and all that, when they stopped that going into pubs, that was a good thing. Everybody says it. Everybody says it. It helps. But as soon as the supporters' bosses come, that's it. Keep indoors after 5 o'clock on a Saturday. Keep indoors.
Do you go to see Doncaster play?
I've seen, yeah. My son-in-law, ex-son-in-law, he's Rovers mad. He's a referee, and he's Rovers mad. Goes with Rovers everywhere. Everywhere. Even in his even his wedding day.
No.
Even on his wedding day, he divorced my daughter and married Jeanette, right? On his wedding day, he went to see the Rovers, left her in the pub. Rovers mad. Rovers mad.
So do you get on with him then still?
Yeah.
Even though he divorced your daughter?
Yeah. His two daughters that he had with my
Of
daughter
course.
live with us.
They live with
They
you?
live with us. They've been with us 14 years. Yeah. Oh, I've never known a supporter like it. As soon as he knows the Rovers is playing, he's off. Home and away.
Jesus.
I was with him when it was the old ground near Asda, at the old ground. I was with him one day. Before they kicked off, they announced over at Tanai, Tony Hatton, who come to go, and he to referee the match, because he's a qualified referee. Yeah, it's true, that. The referee took Pooley in the dressing room.
That wasn't on the telly, was it? Was there something about that on the telly? Was it a Premiership game? Someone was brought out of the crowd.
Yeah, he come out of the crowd, he's a qualified ref, and he refereed the match.
You'll be more impressed with the hat than you will the head.
As I'm looking at it, yeah. Brilliant. It looks as though you can just take the hat off. It does. When my mate that got killed, when he worked in South Africa, the safety level was here.
In the mines?
Yeah. He worked in the gold mines and coal mines.
Gold mines?
Yeah. One of the most common questions is about being a miner to people listening don't know what it's all about. Where do you go to the toilet? You know,
What do you tell them?
wherever you are. And if you're in a roadway, you take a shovel and bury it.
Isn't there a load of jokes where you used to put them in brown bags or something and leave them on people's coal and...
Oh aye. Especially on a Monday morning. Everybody's been out boozing at the weekend. Put it in a bag and throw it in the conveyor belt. It whiffed all the way.
Oh. Yeah, snap time seems to be the fun time.
It was fun time, yeah. 20 minutes, that's all you got. 20
Really?
minutes. 20 to 10 to 10 o'clock.
What about lunch?
That's it.
That was it?
That's it. That was your day shift, 20 to 10 to 10 o'clock. You had to leave the unit. You finish at 6 till 1:45. And you had some units you had to walk out. It took you about an hour to walk out. Monday morning it weren't very good walking in.
Yeah. We had Sunday to recover, didn't you? Or did you just go for it all weekend?
Well, put it this way, if you're out, say, well, what would you be on? You'd be on afters. Days, afters, on the Friday. So you have a drink Saturday, possibly Sunday. And Monday morning, it was hard work.
Yeah.
It was hard work. But see, once you used that shovel, you were laughing. That was it.
Walking down there was a killer.
It's coming out. Yeah, going in's alright. Coming back out.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
It's on a drift, like that.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks it's level all the way in, it's not.
Up all the way that.
You go down like that, yeah. I can't remember what it was, 1 in 3, 1 in 4, whatever it was, I can't remember.
Was there a standard one, or did each mine have a different angle?
Every level, Thorncliffe level was all coal. The Park Gate level was sandstone.
Hmm.
You know, the rock, the sandstone. So you didn't get a lot of dust.
Hmm.
Got dust from the coal, yeah, but not from the strata.
So did it change from mine to mine, the strata?
Yeah, yeah.
I thought the geology would be quite constant. I mean, once you got a
No,
sea.
no.
Does coal prefer?
Well, put it this way. Your Barnsley seam went from this area. Bentley had the Barnsley seam. Brosworth had the Barnsley seam. Southampton had the Barnsley seam. It went all the way through to Barnsley.
Yeah.
You know.
Does coal have a preferred strata? Does it couple with a certain stone? Or does it go anywhere with any stone?
Well, I can't answer that one, but what I can say is the different grades of coal.
Oh.
The different grades of coal.
Depending on the environment it's found in?
Your Barnsley coal was a better coal than the Thorncliffe coal.
Because of the stone that surrounded it?
Because of the depth, I think it is. You know,
All right.
you know.
So the deeper the coal, I suppose, is
I
like
think that's what it is.
older.
Nearer the surface was rubbish coal.
Because it's newer? wonder if it works like
Don't
that.
forget there's rope and cast mining.
Yeah.
They just use the diggers. They don't go underground, do
I
they?
know, yeah.
Just use diggers. That's all rubbish coal.
Is it?
That's the stuff they sent to
Queen.
the power stations.
Yeah.
Laurence, you've got 5 minutes left.
Oh, thank you.
Wow. That's brilliant.
Yeah, sadly the head suffers because I have to do a half an hour on a hat.
Uh-huh.
But the hat is your personality, isn't it?
Oh, it goes with me.
Yeah. How long have you had it?
4 years. 4 years? 5
Did you,
years.
did you have one just like it
Oh,
before?
this year, 5 years this year. I love it. I love it.
It's very entertaining.
That's your time, it's 5.
Right.
Wow.
Been a very interesting head to do.
Look at that. Let me get a picture.
Wow. It's a fair weight, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Wow. That's fabulous.
Do you want to take a picture on your phone?